And to get you more on this with a rounded perspective, I am joined by Dr. Rajan Kumar, who is from the School of International Studies, JNU. Good afternoon, Dr. Kumar. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon at this broadcast. Now, looking at the conditions that we are witnessing right now between US and Venezuela, can we say that the latest move by President Donald Trump is an attempt to increase more pressure on Nicolas Maduro? And if yes, then also tell us how successful can this move be?
Thank you, Deepika, for having me here. Pleasure coming again. First, let me tell you that what are happening here. What is happening here? There are three things that we need to keep in mind. First is that Donald Trump, the U.S. president, is trying to send a message that he's not concerned either about the domestic law or about the international law, because he has refused to put any evidence in support of what he claims that he's attacking a drug cartel and the other things in the name of what is happening. And in this latest one, this was an attack on a ship, Venezuela, the oil carrying ship, which Trump administration claims that it had links with Iran and Venezuela. Second, that what is happening at a broader level, that Trump administration is trying to control the oil producing countries. If you see the way the dynamics have unfolded in the Western Hemisphere, but also in other parts of the world. So he's essentially trying to control the flow of oil from all the countries in the world. And as you know, that US has become the biggest producer of oil in combining second and third, which is Saudi Arabia and Russia put together. And third, the third is that he's also trying to link this with what he calls a drug cartel, but unfortunately he has not provided any evidence. And the kind of attacks which are taking place in capturing the ship is in the latest event, but also so that there have been clear violation of law where some of the survivors were attacked twice and they were killed, which is violation of domestic as well as international law. So this is what I see in a broader perspective. Now, to your question, what is the possibility of a regime change? Essentially, this is a regime change policy, let me tell you. He's not concerned about the drug cartel there. And let me tell you that drug is coming much more for Colombia and other countries than from Venezuela. Fentanyl, the most important drug that Trump is concerned about, is not coming from Venezuela. So essentially, it's a policy of regime change. It's a policy of regime change to control the oil field that Venezuela has. Let me tell you that Venezuela controls Venezuela has roughly 20% of the global oil reserve, much more than Saudi Arabia. So you can see clear interest of Trump administration there. But so far as regime change is concerned, there is a fear also in the Trump administration. Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, is very keen to change the regime. But unfortunately, there is no guarantee. The US experts and even the strategic experts believe that it's not going to be easy to change the regime in Venezuela, because Nicolas Maduro, the head president there, he controls and commands a lot of support of the people there. As a consequence, what US probably is planning to do, first control the flow of oil, weaken the regime of Venezuela, and third, engage in some kind of covert operation. And covert operation essentially means either eliminating Maduro, but also kind of pushing him out of the country and changing the regime. So that's how I see the entire development in the region.
And also, Dr. Kumar, in this entire process, Trump also did not anywhere rule out the possibility of a ground invasion. But would that be a viable option, considering the repercussions it would really have?
Trump came when he became the president. During his campaign, he said clearly that regime change is not the policy that he would like to pursue. In the latest national security strategy document, which has come just a few 1 or 2 weeks earlier, in that also he says that he's not concerned about the regime change and promoting democracy and human rights. So why he is so much interested in Venezuela? Why gold, gas, and that regime is communist? So he's not happy about that. He wants a regime like Argentina, where a pro-Trump regime is established, and he can then control the oil resources there. So with 15,000 forces that he has deployed at the moment, and Gerald Ford, etc., the huge aircraft carrying ship, etc., that has been there, I don't think with that amount of force he is having a policy, or he can pursue a policy of ground attack directly at this point of time. you need much more forces than 50,000 to go for the ground attack. So what is the possibility at the moment? I think he'll start with this what you call the attacks through missiles and drones, etc. And that is a real possibility. But with that, you cannot have a policy of regime change, because the Venezuelans are known for the guerrilla warfare. And when you have this guerrilla warfare, you cannot just control the entire forces through what you call this missiles and drones. So yes, so regime change is also, the experts, the Trump administration is also aware of the fact that the Maduro is not going to go, and he has support of the people, and through drones and missiles probably you cannot change the regime there. But yes, expect some missiles and drones targeting the ground forces in Venezuela sometime soon. That's very likely scenario. Although let me also tell you that Trump administration has not completely ruled out the dialogue and this dialogue with President Maduro. And just a few weeks earlier, he had a conversation, telephonic conversation, and they were planning to meet somewhere. So this kind of coercive mechanism, instruments used by Trump through dialogue, through containment, and through this ship and missile wrecking, etc. Through that, he is trying to put pressure on Maduro so that he can control the policy in Venezuela.
A very quick last question, Dr. Kumar. The challenge for Maduro is not yet over, because Maria Corina Machado also reaffirmed her will to fight in the speech presented by her daughter during the award-winning ceremony. Will that also lead to the diversion of trust votes for Maduro's way to Maria's kitty? Do you think so?
I think if there are two things. First, if Maduro goes, there is no guarantee that the Nobel laureate who has been awarded just a day for this Nobel Prize for Peace. So I don't think that Machida has that much of support there, and there is no guarantee. So there would be if regime change happens, it's very likely that a kind of civil war kind of situation emerge in Venezuela, and there's no guarantee that the Nobel laureate can come back and can come to power the way she's expecting. She is supporting Trump, and as a consequence, she also has alienated both the domestic forces as well as some regional forces.
Right.
For instance, Colombia, Brazil, this Cuba, etc. They're not in support of any invasion on Venezuela, because they think that this will lead to huge refugee crisis, which will completely destabilize the region. So yes, there's no guarantee that Machida might become the ruler if the regime changes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kumar, for joining us and bringing us a rounded perspective on the ongoing situation between US and Venezuela.